It's always so frustrating when you want to go barbecue and you fail because your food is overcooked, your barbecue is not getting up to temperature, the recipe is just wrong. We're going to solve that today. We're going to start with tip number 1. You want to make sure that you have the right charcoal. And this is very important. It doesn't matter which grill you use, just use the right fuel. If you want to cook for a longer amount of time, you want to use hardwood. Hardwood will burn slowly and longer. If you want a quick heat, you want to use softwood. You want to make sure that you use dry charcoal. This is very important. And you want to store it dry at your home, but you also want to make sure that the guy that you buy it from knows that he has to store his charcoal dry. And there's one other aspect to charcoal, and that is that it's brittle, so it will break on impact. If it's not been treated well and transported well, you're gonna have a lot of dust in your charcoal and you will get a rain of sparks while you're firing up your barbecue. So I recommend buying charcoal at a specialized barbecue store where they know how to treat charcoal. Tip number 2, plan ahead. Make sure that you have plenty of time to finish your barbecue. We all know the situation where your wife says, okay, let's fire up the barbecue, we need to eat in 1 hour. Too late, too late. You started out too late. You need to plan ahead. Think about how much time you actually gonna need to prepare your food. For instance, it takes around 10 to 15 minutes to start up your barbecue, then another 30 minutes to get your barbecue up to temperature. Then it takes maybe 10 minutes, half an hour to cook your food, depending on what you're cooking, of course. Then you need to let your meat rest, another 20 minutes, plate up, 10 minutes. If you work out all these steps and the amount of time that you need for these steps, you will know your total cooking time. Tip number 3. Don't you always hate it when your food turned out dry, or it's undercooked, or it burns on the outside? Well, there's a way to solve it. You gotta measure your temperature. Measure the temperature of your barbecue at grill grade level. Now, there's multiple ways to do it. You can buy one of those oven thermometers. They're very cheap and they will do the job. The only problem is you have to open your lid when you want to see what the temperature on your grill is. The other option that you have to buy one of those thermometers that have a probe which you can attach to your grill grate and will let you measure the temperature outside of your grill. There are Bluetooth versions of that, there are Wi-Fi versions of that. You can measure the temperature while you are grocery shopping. Now, if you have one of those thermometers, cooking in your barbecue becomes just as easy as cooking in your oven. It will give you perfect control over temperatures and will allow you to cook your food to perfection. This brings us to the second part of the tip. You need to measure the core temperature of your food. There are two versions of a core temperature thermometer. There's one that is handheld and the other one is wired. The handheld is for grilling and measuring food that you cooked for a shorter period of time. The wired version will actually keep track of your temperature, for instance through an app. And you can see the core temperature of your food outside of the grill. If you want to know the right temperature to cook your food at, I made a chart for you guys and I will put a link to that chart down below in the video description. So what I'm saying is measure your temperatures and you will be much more successful at barbecue. Tip number 4. When we talk about the flavors of barbecue, we don't talk about burning food. We're actually talking about smoke flavors and Maillard effect. But how do you get that smoke flavor if you don't add smoke wood? So tip number 4 is use smoke wood. There are all kinds of ways to get that smoke flavor in your barbecue. You can put in smoke pellets. You can put in wood chips, wood dust, wood chunks. The right way to do it is to think about what type of smoke you want to have in your barbecue. If you're going for a low and slow cook, you want to add a wood chunk. This will give off a slight smoke flavor for a longer period of time. You want to add instant smoke for food that you're not smoking for that long. For instance, chicken wings. They're only going to be cooking for 20 to 30 minutes. So we want to add wood chips, which will give us instant, heavy smoke for a short period of time. If you want to have more powerful smoke, then you add wood dust. This will give you instant smoke at high intensity. The type of wood that you use determines the smoke flavor that you put on your meat. So you have to think about which type of wood you want to use for which type of meat. If you go down below in the video description, you will find a link to a printable chart which will tell you which type of smoke wood to pair with which type of food. Tip number 5. Now we did all this work. We bought the right charcoal, we measured the temperature, we used smoke wood, and then in the end it still doesn't taste great. So there's one last thing you should consider. Buy quality meat. This is very important. Let's take chicken thighs as an example. You have the low-end chicken thighs, low quality, high production. They taste like water. It doesn't taste like anything. It doesn't matter if you apply smoke wood. It doesn't matter if you cook it at the right temperature. It's not gonna taste like anything. If you go one step up and you buy free-range chicken, you see that there is actually fat on these chicken thighs. And that will give you flavor. Now, what is the right type of quality product for you? It's based on your budget. But stop buying the cheap, high production food that just doesn't taste like anything. To sum it all up, don't buy the worst quality meat. You put in all the effort, now make sure you finish it off right. Thank you guys for watching another one of my videos. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a big thumbs up if you did. Leave me a comment down below and I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, eet smakelijk!